Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Hi-Fi Resale Shop. My name is Derek. I've been selling on eBay for 20 years. And it's crazy. I can't even believe that that's the thing. But I know that's for a fact because I got an email from eBay. Let's see if I can find it here and show it to you, show it off. And we'll flip this around really quick. So, got my email here. It says, let's celebrate your anniversary. 20 years, right here, 20 years. And it goes on to like, there was like a downloadable thing, this badge here that I was able to get. And then it says, in the past 5 years, I've sold 7,000 items. The one that I've sold the most of being the 36 human scale monitor arms. And then 99% of shoppers had a great experience. 2 became regulars with 15 sales. 2 people have ordered 15 things from me. So I don't get a lot of repeat customers, but a couple of people have bought several items from me. I think it's a couple of people who buy CDs. And then this many listing views, that's for, I don't know if that's over 5 years or what. But I got that email the other day, so that was interesting, kind of a proud moment for me. I don't even remember when I started on eBay. I was very reluctant, because I was selling on Amazon. I was doing very well, and this is back when Amazon took on used items and stuff like that. And I can remember I was buying stuff at TJ Maxx and Marshall's, and I was selling it on Amazon and fulfilling it myself, and I just shipped it out of my house at the time, and I would go and buy 3 or 4 jackets, and I would see these one jacket that sold, and it kept selling, so I kept going and buying them in whatever sizes I could find. But they were like this graffiti print Echo jacket with the rhinoceros thing logo on it, and I just repeated it over and over, and I would just go to every TJ Maxx in Chicago looking for them. And I sold a lot of baseball caps that they had on their clearance racks and stuff. So that's where I started, and people were like, you should try eBay, and I was like, I don't like eBay. Probably most because I had a boss who was on eBay, and he told everybody how great it was, and I didn't really feel like he treated everybody well, and so whatever he said was negative to me. So probably that's why I thought eBay was negative, because he liked it, enjoyed it, was good at it, and he sold like neon signs and sports memorabilia and stuff like that. And I always thought he was like scamming the workers that worked for him. We actually were running his video stores and stuff like that. So but anyway, I reluctantly started on eBay, and I've been on there for 20 years. We really kicked it up another notch about say 13 or 14 years ago, and we've been on it ever since. There was a couple of years in there where we so I believe in all of the things that people say on like the Facebook groups and everything, but I also believe that I was on eBay and I was barely doing anything to make it work. I was working full time, and I really don't have a lot of time to dedicate to it. I was working in a retail setting where I had a lot of hours that I had to that I was working to make it work, make it function. And I would come home, I'd have 2 things that sold, and I'd package them up as fast as I could. I'd hug the kids as I walked in the door. I'd go package up the 2 items, and then I would run over to the post office before it closed, and I'd throw the 2 packages at him, and then run back to the house to, play with the kids and be with the kids the rest of the night and cook dinner and whatever. I really didn't devote a lot of time. Maybe on a Thursday night or something, I would, after putting the kids to bed, I'd put up a few items or whatever. But when they were toddlers, it was just so exhausting all the time. Bedtime took forever with 3 little girls, trying to get them all to go to sleep. And then we added a 4th, and then it was just so exhausting. Bedtime could take an hour, could take 2 hours, you never know. And so I really didn't pay any attention to eBay, but I would always sell just enough on eBay where I made money to pay the monthly store fee or the subscription fee to have your store open and stuff. So I never really had to worry about closing it. There were a couple of times where are we going to close this thing, or are we moving on from this? Imagine how much time I would have to do other things if I wasn't doing this. And we sat down, my wife and I, and discussed it, and she was like, no, I think it could really be something that could make a bunch of money for us. And I was like, there comes a point when you're just giving up on living your dream and then living to make your children's dreams come true, kind of thing. And that's kind of where I was on that. And I'm very glad that we didn't give up on it, and I'm able to be home with the kids now and homeschool them and do that kind of thing. So congrats to us. We hit 20 years on eBay, and we'll see how many more years that eBay has. In it, we'll over the weekend, the last week has been pretty good. Since Tuesday of last week, we've had pretty good sales, pretty consistent sales. But this whole month, this whole last 30 days has been down, which we kind of knew that this was going to happen. We had a really big day on February 8th, and since then, really nothing even close to that. We haven't broken 200 at any point until last Tuesday, and that is the only other outlier day in the last 30 days. So hopefully eBay will start picking back up here shortly. We have 16 orders over the course of the weekend to go out, so we are totally blessed with 16 orders. A lot of them are CDs. I didn't list any CDs in the last couple of weeks, but maybe 1 or 2 here and there. I do have a stack right in front of me over here of stuff to do. I have a stack over here of stuff that's already been priced and needs to go up. And then I have, this is something somebody dropped off. I have a buddy who does video games, and all he buys is video games. But if he goes out an hour away and he buys 2 or 3 bundles of video games off Facebook Marketplace from people, and he's set them up all in one 2 or 3 hour block, and he drives an hour away to get them, he will actually look around there for anybody selling CDs, and he will pick those up as well, and then I just end up paying for them. So you just get a different group of stuff, and I don't have to go and get them, and he doesn't have to do anything really in addition to get them. But he's looking for video games, and then he does that for me sometimes. I got a couple people that come to me and say, hey, I have stuff for you, kind of thing, and that is one of the things. I would do the same if I was going to go get some CDs somewhere and he needed me to pick up a video game lot. I would totally do that for him and stuff like that. But so we got a bunch of CDs for sale last last Friday, I listed a bunch of pants and jeans, and I followed that into Saturday. So I listed 31 pants and jeans over 2 days there. I had taken those pictures the previous Thursday, so not the day before, but a whole week before that. I had taken those pictures on Thursday and Friday, and then we had all kinds of events and stuff going on, so I wasn't able to start listing those until this last Friday and Saturday morning. I'd say I probably have still another 30 or 40 items here on the floor behind me that need to go up. The room is carpeted, so I don't have to worry about them getting dirty or anything. Just sitting on the carpet. But I have those down here that need to get listed. I need to go through every one of these CDs. These are in stacks of like genres and stuff. So like maybe movie soundtracks are over there. Maybe jazz CDs are there. Pop CDs are the tall ones and stuff. So I need to go through all those and price those out so those can then move over here to these piles. All this stuff needs to get moved. So my daughter's birthday is on April 6th. One of them is on April 6th, and I want to be out of this office and have this be her room. So I have a big push to do to get out of this room, and so that's coming up shortly. So let's go through the things that sold over the course of the weekend. Again, 16 items totaling $352, and here we go. Let's see here. The first one is a CD, and it is Bruce Springsteen, and this is a 3D set, the Essential Bruce Springsteen, and this sold for $4 plus shipping on top. Of all musical artists out there, and I like a lot of music, I will tell you that the two that I totally understand their place in musical history, and I understand how many hits they've had. There's two different artists that I do not go out of my way to listen to ever. Although I do have them, on my music lists, I don't like go to that artist and listen to their songs. Sometimes when it's like shuffling, it may come into one of their songs. But Bruce Springsteen is one of them. I really can't stand Bruce Springsteen. There's some songs that are good, that are really good, and but Bruce Springsteen, the man, I don't really appreciate, and I don't like his music for the most part. I think he's completely overrated. And then these are both hot takes. I'm not into the Beatles at all. I'll sing a Beatles song. Beatles songs are fun, a lot of good stuff, but I am definitely not a huge Beatles fan. But I do understand their place in musical history. Anywho, those are my hot takes for today. Put down below if there's somebody that everybody likes that you just can't really get into. But anyway, the next item that sold is Grantley Buffalo Honey. Don't Think, plus some other tracks. It's got a cracked CD case. I think I'm going to try and get this into a new case before I ship it out. This sold for $5 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold is this Chico's tank top. It's like a striped black and white tank top. This came from a charity sale where the cost was 30 cents. And I sold it for $16 plus shipping on top. That sale was like a $10 for a garbage bag and fill the garbage bag kind of deal. The next item that sold is this Phillips, Craig, and Dean song, Ultimate Collection. It's in a kind of a special case, 2 CD case. So I'm not going to be able to do anything if that case is broken. And it looks in pretty good condition. How does the second thing pop out of here? Yeah, so it's 2 CDs here. Phillips, Craig and Dean, they have a lot of songs. This was more, these guys were more before I started listening to Christian music, but their version of, I think it's Redemption Song. Let me look that up. Hold on a second. It's not Redemption Song. It's Revelation Song, and it's not on this. Is like one of the songs that like stuck in my mind when I was leaving Chicago and coming to Missouri. It's kind of where I was on that trip from Chicago to Missouri. Is kind of where I was born again as a Christian. So I have a really strong place in my heart for the Revelation song that they sing. So there's a little tidbit of knowledge for you about Hi-Fi Resale Shop and Derek. The next item that sold was another CD. Well, that Phillips, Craig and Dean CD was $17.24 plus shipping on top. So pretty good sale in terms of CDs. That would be a solid pickup if you see it. The next one is Fastball, Out of My Head. This is a single. It's only got one track on it. $7.99 for that item. The next item is a pair of shoes. They're Anne Klein shoes. These shoes are from the estate sale closet thing that I did, and we have settled out on that whole project. So these are not on consignment anymore, but these sold. I actually paid for everything that owed in terms of things that sold, and then I paid them for everything that hadn't sold, and this would be in that. So these Anne Klein shoes, flats 9M, and they have this this might be cowhide type of deal here, suede on the sides here, $20 plus shipping on top. So these will get wrapped up in this tissue paper so they don't like rub up against each other in the shipment and screw up that cowhide on there. $20 plus shipping on top. The next item that's sold is a CD, No Doubt, Rock Steady, and this has got Hella Good on there, and underneath it all, I'm sure there's something else on here, but a couple of good songs on here. $5.99 plus shipping on top for that. The next item is this tweed like jacket. It's Anne Klein as well, so 2 Anne Klein sales at in the same weekend. Anne Klein doesn't sell particularly well, but it is a nice workwear brand for women, so it will sell eventually. Don't spend too much money on it. Buy it cheap. $16.99 plus shipping on top. This came from that charity sale as well, so it's got a 30-cent cost. 30 cents into $17. Not too shabby, as some people might say. The next one that sold is this CD, Hollywood Roses, and it sold for $6.99. It is a tribute to Guns N' Roses' greatest hits. And you really have to take a close look at that picture because they are sharing a microphone, and it throws me off every time I look at it. I don't know why, they're kissing every time I look at it. That is throwing me off every time I look at it, but they have a microphone in between them. So $6.99 plus shipping on top for that one. The next one that sold is this Frampton CD. And it's got Show Me the Way and Baby I Love Your Way. It's got a crack in the back of the CD, so I'm going to have to replace that as well, but that's not a problem. And it sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. The next thing is another CD, Memories of Machines, Warm Winter. So I don't know anything about this. It says indie rock pop from 2011. And that sold for $6.74 plus shipping on top. The next thing is repeat buyers. They bought 2 items at the same time. And they bought pant number 36, which was bought from that charity sale for 30 cents. Again, Chico's So Slimming Black Straight Leg Dress Pants Slack size 3, Chico's 3, regular, extra large, large. And then this one, which came out of the consignment sale, consignment closet, Chico's So Slimming Charcoal Gray Straight Leg Pants Slack size 3, Chico's, extra large. Those 2 sold for $52.48, so that's a nice sale right there. And let's see here. The next thing that sold was this little 4T Princess Strappy Tulle dress. It's supposed to be Belle from Disney Parks. It's got this Amanda's Collection tag on there. It's got Disney Parks logo tag on there. So this sold for $15 plus shipping on top, and it's got the little unitard thing on the bottom for the girl, and this is gonna make some little girl be super cute and be a princess. It sold for $15 plus shipping on top. As soon as I pulled it out, one of my little girls was, why didn't I get a chance to wear that? And I was like, because you are 7 years old. You can't fit in that. I'll try. No, you don't want. I don't want you to try. The next thing that sold is this Elvis CD. It is volume 5 in Walk a Mile in My Shoes, the essential 70s masters of Elvis. And this one says Elvis Presley Show on it. And it's just got it's got 27 tracks on it. So it's got a lot of songs on here. Unchained Melody, Suspicious Minds, Hunk of Love, and Never Been to Spain. That would be interesting to hear him sing that. I might download this. You've Lost That Love and Feeling, Heartbreak Hotel. I might download this before I ship it off, but it's in really good condition. But it's part of a set. It's just one CD. $7 plus shipping on top. The next item that's sold is this little hand puppet guy. Little crow or magpie. And he's got the squeaker bill. And it's vintage. Was it made in the USA? And it was made in China, but it's Hayes Tea Specialty Products. So this guy sold, I got him at a Goodwill, and the cost was $4.79, and I sold it for $22.49. That was a fun Goodwill trip. We just took the whole family to Goodwill, and I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but my kids are old enough where they could go look around on their own and not cause too much trouble and disturbance throughout the store. They are loud, so you can always find them, but it was fun, and I, was sourcing, and they were just finding stuff for themselves. So $4.79 turned into $22.49. Not bad. That trip, I also did the Tampa Bay Bucks huge pillow. I don't know if I showed this on a video or not. That was like $45. And in terms of everything I bought, I think I spent $45. So I know when I sold that Tampa Bay guy, I paid for the whole trip, and I was just waiting for some of the other stuff to sell. In that group, I also got, the crow or the magpie. I got a little plush of Piglet, which I've sold, maybe $10. And there might be a few. Let me see if I can find that page in my shop, because I would have put them all up at the same time. So let me see if I can find any that are left over. I know there's a white moth that has not sold, because I have not seen that come through. And then there's Moana. We got a really giant pig of Pua from Moana, and that hasn't sold. I know that's still in the storage area, the garage. And I'm just thumbing through newest listed items on my store to see if I can find it really quick. I'm trying to think of any other things that have sold from that. But it was a good trip, fun trip, to be able to take the kids out and me being able to do my thing. We bought these posters of Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals. He has since been traded. But they were a height chart banner from giveaway for the Cardinals, and is from the dairy, I think Highland, if I'm not mistaken, which is the dairy that's around here that produces the milk. There's a little Trollio Trolls guy. It's not like Trolls, the vintage Trolls that you think of with the hair that's like this, or the newer Trolls. It's not like that, but it is a 1992 plush. It's a little pink guy with like crazy hair, and he's got this like corduroy outfit on. And that's up for $14. And then I got that moth thing. It's up for $22. And then Pua is up for $29.99. Those are the three that stuffed animals that are left from that Goodwill, trip. And then the Nolan Arenado banners. It's not a poster because it's like made out of fabric, but yeah, those are the things that are left over from that. Back to what we were doing, and we have one last item. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is a Avon pearl necklace, sterling silver. And I know it because it says all that on the back of it. I think this came from my mom's stuff. She was an Avon rep for years. This might have come from her collection of stuff. It may have come from some other random clean out that we did, but that item sold $24.75 plus shipping. It's there's about $9 in shipping on that. That's a lot of shipping. So maybe it's going overseas. I'm not sure. Because that weighs next to nothing. It probably weighs 1 ounce at the most. So that's everything that's sold over the course of the weekend. 16 items. And we're going to package that stuff up and get it shipped out. We got basketball practice we got to get ready for. So I got to get to shipping these things and get them over the post office. We will see you next time on High Five Resale Shop. Bye. See you later.